So if you listen to politicians talking about reindustrialization, they're talking about my nation first. They're talking about defense spending. Do I ever hear the words, we're going to raise taxes a fuck ton to pay for all this? Generally not. Everybody's going to get something. It's not going to cost you anything. And how are we going to do it? We're going to lean on the central banks to print the money. We're going to lean on the fiduciaries to buy the debt that we're issuing. We're going to lean on the banking system to lend more to the right type of companies. And this is global. And so when you're in this Fed cutting cycle, they're cutting rates, even though the US economy is growing at something like 4% real GDP. Inflation is above their target. So again, all around the world, the politicians are going to print more money. And so I see it as a completely different scenario than, let's even talk about 2021, when Jerome Powell was talking about tightening credit, when every central bank was tightening credit because of inflation. We are in a scenario where the politicians around the world, regardless of where you live, are talking about spending more money without raising taxes. And so that's why I believe that this particular cycle will extend. I think it's going to extend into the 2027, 28 time period. But again, who knows how long it will go for. But as long as the politicians are going to print money to hand out goodies to people to support them, we're going to keep going higher as a crypto ecosystem. So that's sort of my essay in.
What you've elucidated there is quite interesting, because it's a theory that I've seen played out, or many people have posited in the crypto space, around these unique circumstances that have come every few years that come together in confluence that leads to an increase in liquidity. And that then debunks the theory of the halving has anything to do with it. So you think as well, the halving is just coincidental and that there's no real impact on the price of Bitcoin.
I'm sure there is, but the more halvings we have, the less impact it has, because the inflation rate, the delta in the change in the inflation rate is much less. So yes, of course, the first halving meant a lot. The subsequent on the fifth halving, whatever it is, means much less.
Less impact in total. So now then coming back to this cycle, if they're going to be extended because it's not following the 4-year metronome of a cycle, do you think that there's going to be a blow off top, or is there going to be a super cycle?
Oh, this is going to be obviously absolutely blow off top.
Absolutely.
We're humans.
Okay.
We haven't changed. Okay. Just because we have this new thing called Bitcoin and crypto doesn't mean we're not a bunch of retarded animals, pressing buttons.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people still talk super cycle, man. There's some Bitcoin maxis out there who still think so.
I'm sure Shu still talks a super cycle to any retard dumb enough to give him money.
True. Okay, then. Well, coming back to our previous interview we did in May, and you said Bitcoin would hit 999,999 by 2027. So are we still on track for that?
I think so. Absolutely. I read the newspaper, and the politicians tell me what they want to do. They want to print the money. And so as long as they want to print the money, I'm going to hold the Bitcoin.